Good afternoon, friends. Welcome after the lunch. And we from the management side at times keep the star speakers post-lunch deliberately so that the post-lunch naps may not be taken by any one of us. And in this particular series, we have a very star speaker of the country, of ICAI, CA, Venugopal Gelaji. May I please request him to be please on the dais. He's going to speak on the topic AI in GST litigation and reconciliation, which is a very, very important topic. At least two things remains in the heart of each chartered accountant: income tax and indirect tax, GST. So he'll be talking of the GST litigation as well as reconciliation. Of course, nowadays, a lot of litigations are happening in GST and a lot of reconciliation activities each one of we are doing at our offices in regard to GST, and he's going to help us and give us some ideas how should we proceed upon. Venugopal sir is a FCA, DISA, CISA and a founder partner of Messrs. Venu and Vinay Chartered Accountants, which is established in the year 2002. All over India, rank 45th in CA final examination. That shows his inclination towards the academics. He's certified information system auditor and has completed several specialized ICAI certifications, including DISA, business valuation, internal audit, fraud detection, and forensic accounting. He has also completed a year-long program in data analysis and business intelligence from IIM. Has served as a co-opted member of the ICAI Indirect Tax Committee for the years 2017-18, 23-24, 24-25 and 25-26. Renowned speaker on GST and nowadays working a lot in the AI sector. So who can be a better speaker on the topic of AI along with the GST? He conducts workshops on automated return filing, has developed several widely used Excel-based GST tools, including JSON readers, GSTIN validators, benefit analysis tools, and GST audit. He has a good coding experience on VBNet, R, and Python, and experience in database design review. He has also contributed to the development and management of cloud applications such as GST, Gen, Tally on Wheels, and others. May we all put our hands together to welcome C.A. Venugopal Gela, sir. And I request Pradeep Modi ji to please welcome him with Uttorio. On behalf of Eastern India Regional Council of Institute, also present him a small token of memento. With this, Venugopal sir, the session is all yours. And next 45 minutes of the session is all yours. And thereafter, we'll have a question and answer session of 5 minutes. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here, the city of joy, very joyfully, and I come regularly here, speak on either the topic on GST or technology, and those are the areas I practice. Thank you, Aditya Maheshwarji, for doing a kind introduction. I'm sure GST is now no more nascent. People casually ask that, okay, there's been so many circulars, notification, ye kab band hoga? But if we have to see, GST hoke 8 saal ho gaya. Now, बच्चे जब बढ़ते उनके कपड़े तो सूट होते नहीं, so हर 6 महीने हर साल चेंज होता रहता है. हमारा तो खाली अभी हाइट बढ़ेगा नहीं, खाली we only pant size चेंज होगा. So GST is also moving towards settling that area. Now, having that being settled and notices substantially settled, today I don't think anyone are getting notices on 2A, 2B not matching, 3B not matching. Today we are not getting that. Oh, jamana chala gaya. Maybe we are having the appeal matters of that, but we don't have the notice matters of that. If you look at those who are into practice on GST litigation, the number of files that you are have gone to the department, for sure, at least in my office, has become half of what was last year. Why? Technology. Things are getting automated. Of course, we have also learned, understood tricks of the trade, all those aspects. So today's session, I am going to talk about merging GST and AI. I'm not going to demonstrate a tool like Rama, whatever he has done, but I'm going to give some tips for you to keep it in mind, go back to the office, talk to the team, how to implement, or reflect yourself when you are talking to the client or advising them what is that they should do. We would look at multiple aspects, how they can better their compliance, how they can handle their notices well. In the domain of litigation, given the tribunal is coming, how are we geared up in handling the appeals case management? Inside of all the 3 points, I will be talking on how do I use AI. How do we use AI? These are the topics, points that I would be discussing. And we'll make it more interactive. I'll ask questions and let's understand more. That will help me to actually give whatever the points I want to say. Starting with a question. How many of in the room are not using ChatGPT or have not used ChatGPT or not aware of ChatGPT? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if we look at it, so around 5% of the people are not aware of it or not used it. But other than that, now if you see, 95% of them have used it or using it. What does it says? It only says a word that technology is evolving and it has evolved and that is going to be the future. You may sound it like, will my life will not work without it? It will work, for sure. There's no doubt in it. But let's ask this question. Okay, let me start with stupid question. How many of you use Excel? Everyone? How many of you are aware of the function called sum in Excel? That's why I said it's a stupid question. Will you choose, let's say you have A1 to A10, some numbers. Will you choose to take calculator and total the numbers and put a number there, or you would want to use the sum function and do the sum? But if you use sum function, what will happen to your memory? Your calculation skills will go off, everything will go off. Why would you use a sum function? Now that's the order of the day. Life has become that way. If you think that if I start using tools like Gemini, ChatGPT and others, am I losing my memory? Am I losing my intellect? Am I losing my capability? Am I becoming dependent on the system? Of course, we are becoming dependent on the system. Today, we cannot live without mobile. We cannot live without WhatsApp. It has become order of the day. Likewise, using of Gen AI, generative AI tools is necessary and essential. So those 5% of the people who have not used ChatGPT, very good. Don't use Gemini. There are good versions are there. Use Claude, which we have seen in the earlier session. Use Claude, right? In fact, in the world of artificial intelligence, the ChatGPT is the first one to be appreciated because they made it the language models public and open to use. It's like air travel has become so frequent and so available, we should say thanks to Air Deccan, which said that, okay, anyone can fly. It's not that after the Air Deccan has come, suddenly flight travels have become, it has become cheap, but at the same time they said, okay, you can also fly. The moment you got that, then people started using that as an alternative and they're using it. Likewise, ChatGPT is the first one to introduce to the common man that generative AI is anyone can use. The word GPT is proprietary to ChatGPT. We can't say Gemini GPT or Claude GPT. It is, we call it as Gen AI, generative AI. Why do we say generative? If the same topic I am talking in Delhi, exactly same content, same everything, the words that would come from my mouth would be different. I am generating, looking at the audience, looking at the response, it is changing. So onto the same prompt, we call it as prompt. Prompt is like question. So on the same prompt, you are asking the exactly same prompt, sir is asking, three people are asking same question, the answer will be different. It is not giving from a knowledge base. Looking at the knowledge, it is generating an answer. That is why we call it as Gen AI. Now, this ChatGPT, which is the kind of, I will say, the mother and father of making these LLMs more open, they have flagged themselves as code red. Last week, ChatGPT said, we are in code red. Now, what do that mean? They said, if we don't correct something at R, our business will be at loss. Where we are, if we don't correct ourselves, our business at loss. So they said, no more new developments, no agentic applications. Let's not change. Next 15 days, we will go back and work on the model of ChatGPT, ensuring that the output is coming best. And someone who is at that 500 billion valuation, if someone can, when they can say that, okay, I am just making an aware that we are at code red and we are doing re-engineering, we should also rethink ourselves. That when we are doing some work, if I am doing the same work what I have done the last year or last month, if I am doing it in the same way, then something is going to be wrong. You would have heard this statement that AI will not replace humans. Yes or no? And AI will not replace your work, right? But something replaces your work. The people who are using AI will replace you. AI is not going to replace you, but the other people who are using AI will replace you. So think of an accountant who says, I will be using calculator, put a total in that. मैं मुंशी हूँ, like मेरा calculation skills are superb. मैं calculator is like आपसे भी double speed में डालता हूँ. मैं sum function use नहीं करूँगा. Versus there is another accountant. No, which one you will prepare? You will say that, okay, आपका calculation skills अच्छा है, but ये जमाने के लिए मेरे को जो sum function use करेगा वही accountant चाहिए. Will you say it or not? That's what the client will also say. Your client will say, like whatever ChatGPT is available to you is available to the client also. Your client will start saying that, okay, I want the chartered accountant who can really advise me in a right sense. It doesn't mean that you are not giving them a right answer. But you should reflect yourself that have you upgraded your technology skills. That's the fundamental thing. Now, let me start with basics. What do you mean by basics? what we look at in GST, if we have to look at as a GST perspective, the main goal is we want to file returns on time, right? We want to ensure whatever there in the books is properly reported or not. When we are saying filing, we want to ensure we want to take care of that. Why do we want to do it? We want to avoid penalties, late fees, interest. We want to ensure जो ITC मेरा है वो सही टाइम पे लूँ. And what are we doing on a regular basis? This is GSTR 11A, 3B and 99C. That's what we have been filing. We have other information like IMS 2A, 2B, which though we cannot do anything on clicking accept ki tarah, but left side is the one which we are filing. This is what we are doing, right? So what is the ask? The ask is, have they been filed within the time? So let's look at what is the ask. Have they been filed within the time? Have they been reconciled? Did I pay the taxes properly? If something is nil, have I reported properly? Like all these things. We want to ensure this is taken care. Now, the question that comes, if this is taken care, is, let's say each one of you, when I say you, your office or your team, whomsoever is filing the returns, they might be filing around 50 returns or 100 returns. On an average, I will keep one person will be able to take care of 20 returns and not beyond. Is that a fair expectation? Yes or no? Anyone who has in the office who is filing 100 GST returns? No, right? Now the question is, why AI? If that person is doing it, why AI? Where is the knowledge? Knowledge is on the person who is doing. If he lives, don't worry sir, in Eastern India, लोगों को कोई कमी नहीं है, ये छोड़ के चला गया, नया बंदा आ जाएगा. कॉस्ट की कमी नहीं है, 20-25 हज़ार में एक और बंदा आ जाएगा. Now the question that comes back is the knowledge. The person who is filing the return, there is a lot of knowledge with him. How are we articulating and transferring into a system? It's a process. I'm sure 50% of the people in the room are using government Excel utility to file your R1 and 3B. Yes or no? Yes. Some of you would be using some software. Some 5% would be from your ERP if they are giving. Around 10-20% directly on the portal, do a data entry and submit it. Is there anything wrong? Absolutely no wrong. But let's look at the challenge. Challenge number 1. Can your business scale? Can the business scale? The answer is no. Like you would always wish that, okay, I shouldn't be out of business. Like we operate from that, okay, like chalna hai, we shouldn't be worried about competition, bacche log aayenge, jayenge, but nothing should happen with my client. Mera client chhod ke nahi jana hai. That would always be there in the back of the mind. But let's say suddenly one of the biggest client who comes, let's say Infosys comes to you and say, can you file my GSTR 1 and 3B? Now, theoretically, yes. You know what needs to be done. You can say yes. But on the ground, can you do it? Answer is no. You don't have time. Okay, I don't expect you to do. Your team, no, they are not capable enough of handling that volume. That's your first challenge. Okay, challenge number 2. I don't want a high voluminous client, but let's say 10 more clients walk in tomorrow and say, will you be able to handle? Then you will say yes. But 100 clients walk in, answer is no. You have not built the practice for scaling. We've been hearing from the institute, everyone saying that the era of specialization is there. So in the firm, and I'm saying firm, moving from proprietor to a partnership firm, there should be collaboration of the people. So at least 25% of the practicing firm members should be generalist, 75% should be specialist. That means in a 4-member firm, 1 person is general, 3 other persons are doing only specialized works. Now that's the expectation. In GST, there are deeper specialization. Someone has to go for litigation at pre-notice stage, adjudication, ADT 01 or SCN handling, someone at APL stage, someone at a tribunal stage. We can't wear all the hats all the times. Now, are we building that? Now, if we are building that and if we are making people move from one role to other, are we standardizing the practices which they are doing? That means it's a simple written filing. Let's say in each of your office, there are 3 people, I am assuming on an average. Some may be having 1%, some may be having 10%. On an average, there are 3 people who are filing the GST returns. If I remove one person and give the other person who has been filing GST only, the answer is without the dependency on the first person, the second person will not be able to file the returns. He would still need some understanding where the file has been saved, where is the last month workings, what are the data. Now, that is where we are moving towards an artificial intelligence and a system-driven, technology-driven work. That is the era that we are moving. So a question that you should start asking yourself is, am I moving into the journey? We talk about succession, we talk about from the technology world, business continuity plan, disaster recovery plan, but about our firm, and especially GST, which is day in, day out, that is what we are doing. What is that we are doing to improve our practice is a question I want to put to you. You should ask yourself, how am I doing it? Let me tell you, how am I doing in our office? Our office, firstly, we always believe in technology and we always believe in systems and process. Every work, every damn work that happens in the office gets recorded by a senior. Like Zoom or Loom or Google Meet, anything. You can just open, record the work. Now, once you record the work, you can upload it in a private unlisted. Let's say simple GSTR1 filing, you will say that, okay, Mr. Ramesh of this organization will be sending me sales register on 8th, and I will ask them these questions. This client has a peculiar issue. They are having 2 softwares. So a POS machine gives me this report. I will take B2B report from this and I will be using this. I will load this data into here. This gets synchronized with my return filing software, and here is the data which I upload. Once it is filed, I processed, I send it to them for confirmation. Once it is confirmed, we file. Let's say this is the process. That's all he will do, a video recording, upload it in YouTube private. So you are now automatically from the peer review and doing the training, you are building one knowledge documentation. Now the next person, he has seen the video, he has been doing, now he has to be retired and someone is coming. So he will redo the same thing. Okay, now Ramesh is not there, so and so person, the POS was changed to this and these people are doing this. It would only take a 2-minute video, but it will give you the incoming person entire glimpse of it. Practices is all standardized. My return filing is through this software. Data, whatever be the format comes, it has to be integrated to this software. After I file the return, I need to have RUD. All relied upon documents should be there at one place. These are the checklists that you need to put in. Now, is it going to transform you in the day one? No. First 3 months, it is going to be a struggle. Your staff will curse. You will say, "Arey 3B file karne hai, usko open karunga. I'll just enter some number and it is done. For that, why should I do a half an hour extra work?" But after 3 months, you will realize that if that person is not there, you are not there, the process goes on by itself. That is what you are looking at building. So why artificial intelligence? Basically, you are simulating the human intelligence, and which is now machines are doing. Earlier, we used to say process, like that's what we do in car also. We say, does the organization have the process? We keep asking about the process. Now we are trying to eliminate whatever the human is doing, we are trying to eliminate. It has an ability to do a capability of reasoning and problem solving. Machine learning and NLP, this has become kind of a very important aspect of our day-to-day life. It is there, out there. What you have just sometimes seen is an MCP. It is a model context protocol. Earlier, when we have to communicate one application to another application, we use API, Application Program Interchange. But now in an application program interchange, I am going to give a binary, 1 as 1, 0 as 1. But in an MCP, true false is also interpreted as 1, 0. So there is one more layer we are introducing, and the using NLP, we are converting the plain language into an API. So it's a kind of a bridge between an API and the human language. Now the world is moving there. If we don't adopt that, adoption suddenly is going to become challenge. If I have to tell you how these are working, traditionally the programming happens this way. There is a data and there is a program you will write, and you will give it to the computer. Computer will give you an output. But now what happens? There is a data and you will give the output as a prompt saying that I need this, and the computer would write the program. And that's what you have exactly seen when Rama has given a prompt, give me KPIs. That's what Sumit has typed. Or someone has typed the debtors. What happened? On the right side, the program got prepared. So the program has been designed, developed by the computer. Rama did not write the program. Computer has written the program and it has given the output. When he talked about 40A3 more than 10,000, so the computer has done it. That is what the AI is doing. So let's dwell into the question of why AI should be used or where AI should be used. First and foremost, on reconciliation. Reconciliation from the manual era, we have moved to a software era. We now need to be in an integrated era. Whether it is your purchase register with 2B, IMS, whatever be the terminologies that come in, or sales with the e-invoice, sales with e-way bill, whatever be the terminology that you are saying, reconciliation is an activity under GST as a necessary. Whether your employee is doing, client side is doing, it is something needs to be done on a monthly basis. And it has to be done more like your that AS22. What is AS22? Deferred tax. Now we need to know how much of the deferred tax we are deferring. So next year I need to know this much I will have to adjust and use it. So these credits are available, not utilized, missing there. So you carry forward to the next month. So you need to do an automatic follow-up with the vendor and the customers. So certain activities that you need to do, and it needs to be remembered, and the programs will remember. Memory, it should, anything you keep in the mind, no? Human memory is the last thing you should keep in. It is not the safest form of existence. It is the weakest form of existence. If you think that I will remember these are the things I need to carry forward and take actions, you will forget it for sure. Like if I ask you what is the color of the shirt you have wore yesterday, you will immediately think yesterday kal मैं ये पहना था. कुछ लोग अभी भी सोच रहे हैं क्या पहना था. So that's the power of memory for when it regards to those tangible things, right? Human memory can carry the emotions. Like you might not remember whatever I have spoken, but you will carry some emotions which will be there for the long. And that is why we should rely on machine memory for something to capture numbers, variables that are changing. Now these reconciliations are now going haywire, funny. Ensuring the fuzzy logic is there in the reconciliation is more important. If you use a simple Excel lookup, pivots and matching, that is not going to be an order of the day. your reconciliation are when it is driven by a software, whether you are using a cloud or desktop. People ask me which is the software I should use, cloud or desktop. My general recommendation is cloud, but I will always say use one software. Let's say in cloud, okay, you have ClearTax, you have Saral, you have GST Zen, you have WebTel, you have this software. Which one to use? I will say use one, any one. You can never say that this software is better. Firstly, you should know these are all software companies. Can I say these are all technology companies? Yes or no? Do you know USP is not a technology for technology firms? Why did ChatGPT give code red? Because Gemini 3 came up with a version, the context window is longer and it is ability to do much better. Now they said, okay, now I will also increase my context window. I will also increase my reasoning. So if one technology product or a software has brought in a new feature, it will take another 3 months or 6 months, the other competitor will also get that feature. So a competition in a technology products is never the technology. The competition is about user experience. So why are you worried about which software is better? Having a software is more important than analyzing which software is better. We are not an experts on the software. Why should we be worried about it? What we should ask from the software vendor is, can you give me a smart dashboards? Can you give me smart dashboards? That is what we need to ask. What is a smart dashboard? You are filing the return, let's say in the month of January, you will be filing the returns for December. Let's say this month 3B you will be filing in another week. Now system should say that, hey look, all this while you are paying taxes through ITC 98%, but suddenly this month you are paying only 60%. Is there something wrong? Did you not account some purchases? Or is this your major vendor who has not uploaded? Or you've been reporting RCM liability till December, but the next month RCM liability is not there. Do you want to recheck your returns before you file? A questions that system can ask you before you file. Let's say you have filed. Can the system gives you GSTR 9 on a monthly basis? This is what you have to ask. On a monthly basis, can I get my annual returns? GSTR 9 and 9C prepared, is it possible? That's the question that you should ask. You don't ask about what technology, what thing which the software is. Can you give me a smart dashboard? What is a smart dashboard? Can the system talk to me? Can the numbers talk to me? Please note, if you have a data in front of you, and if the data is not talking to you, something wrong where you are. It's nothing to do with the data. It's something wrong where you are. In the world, the data scientists, they are always told, torture the data till it speaks to you. Torture the data till it speaks to you. If it is not speaking to you, something wrong. I'll give you a simple classic example. Let's say in the customer ledger of the tally, what is that we would want to do? Let's say when I opened a tally ledger, what is that we will do? Either we will press that F5 or Alt B, we will see bill wise outstanding. Okay, if there is some 23 lakhs is the closing balance, we would want to see 23 lakhs belonging to how many bills or what it is. If suddenly you will find on account, then immediately you know the quality of the accountant. Or bill wise itself is not there, you will get upset. Like, how do I know whether this number is right or wrong? The moment assuming if it is bill wise is there, can you see that, okay, what does that invoice number talking to me? Let's say if you are seeing INV 1500, either it is saying this 1500 invoice. But if they say, let's have their different verticals, they have different products segments, different branches geographically. Can the client incorporate in that bill saying that which segment the DSO is high, which segment DSO is less, something like that. So as the job of a chartered accountant is always to enhance the quality of the data, enhance the quality of the numbers. Now that is what we should also ask. First thing, use the software. Second, start asking from the software, look, I need this. Now the software vendor will happily provide you, because you are asking a question which will enhance your productivity. If it is enhancing your productivity, it will enhance the productivity of other clients also. Right? Now you may be the first mover. Now the first mover will have that advantage of, okay, you thought something, you brought something into the product. So your job is to keep asking the software vendor, acha mere ko ek feature ye de do. Now he will give it to you free of cost, don't worry. But your job is to ask. Another thing in the world of software, aaj aapne pooch liya, kal nahi hoga. At least they will take a month or two, because they have to ensure all the edge cases are done, testing and everything. But they will do it. So the limitation is neither at the software nor at the developer. The limitation is where you are. We have stopped asking questions. We have stopped expecting things. We expect things to be taken care automatically. That is something wrong. We need to correct ourselves. All right. So when you use the AI, what are the advantages it will give you? You will get ability to handle either a large volume of data, or you don't want to handle a large clients, you will have an ability to handle the business side expansion, handling multiple clients. You will be on top of the vigilance, compliance. You will preempt the client saying that, look, I made a mistake. I was supposed to report 1 crore turnover, but 25 lakhs I missed out. At least next month you will report it. So you know, if you made a mistake, you will correct it in time. Let's say I have availed an ineligible credit. Client did not know, the accountant did not know, motor gaadi kharid liya, uska credit le liya, that's okay, next month it can be reversed. You are on top of it. That is what it is going to do. So your smart dashboard will start talking to you. If it can talk to you, then you are more in control of the data. Like you have one report card. Like why do we have imagine in a cricket, you hit the 6, they are not giving you 6. You run, they are not giving you run. How it will be? Very boring, right? If there is no numbers to chase. Your report card is also like that. Okay, I have seen this. Okay, I'm at 75%, 80%. Then when you know it, the satisfaction that you will get, that or the control that you have about the client will increase. Start building a report card for each of your client. I am talking from the GST perspective, but you can start implementing across. Now that report card will say various checks, controls, it will validate. Over the time you can input it into a software. You say that, look, this is my checklist. I want you to give me a scorecard. You ask your vendor, he will do it. Help him to do it. He will do it for free to you. Or at least he will give you a testimony royalty saying that, look, so-and-so person has advised us to do it. Now, you will start seeing, your thinking will start change when you start using software. You will start thinking like a software. You will be thinking that how do I become a process man? Moving from a person driven to a process driven is what that is going to happen. Let's look at what GST department is doing. Currently, GST department is doing entire risk profiling of the people. So when the registration is going to happen, they are going to the risk profiling. That is why they have introduced both Rule 9A and 14A, saying that in 3 days your registration is done. That is what they have done. The Aadhaar and different databases they have integrated, and they have done a risk profiling. And the days of fake invoice, bill trading, all those things, it's all system driven. If a squad under 68 and 129, they are stopping a vehicle elsewhere and levying a penalty, it is not their intelligence. They have a deeper intelligence integrated with Vahan portal. The portal will say, please stand there, stop this vehicle. That's all it will say. They knows that risky taxpayers, risky goods, material coming in, material going out, which HSN can come, which HSN cannot come, what is the route, the moment they open, which are the checkposts the vehicle has crossed at what times and what are the anomalies, everything it is going to tell. So they have done a very detailed e-way bill reconciliation in their application. They have done predictive analytics. You will now start getting notices saying that, hey, your turnover has decreased. Is there any reason? Now you may say that you don't have a right to ask, but you will get a very subtle mails asking you what is happening, suddenly something moved, or asking them under 67, please go and visit their factory and see that is there a reason to believe that there is a suppression that is happening. You will get INS 01 automatically. This is all done. So Infosys this year, they have been 2 months back, they have been awarded the last project of deepening the analytics. Already the analytics has been built in. Now they are doing a deepening, and they are doing at an invoice level. And the audits are now going to be risk based. So they have announced across both SGST and CGST, the audits, 70% of the audits are to be necessarily driven by the system. System is going to tell. Now let's say I have a favorite SSC every time I want to pick, but I need to ensure the SSCs I am picking should be within the 30%, because 70% of the audits are to be done by the system only. Now that is what they are doing. If the department is doing that, what is that you can do? You can take support of an ASP tool. You can also do an early pattern recognition or compliance validation. Any models that you want, you can do it. The predictive analysis I have already spoken. I'll skip this, but I want to talk about NLPs that you should use. NLPs like Gemini, ChatGPTs, everything which is there is something now you can inbuilt. OpenAI earlier to do a guarded conversation has become kind of a very easy way. Most corporates today use Copilot because now they have gone, they know that the data which is given is not going out. It is being guarded. Having said that, is it true? I don't know. Okay. Privacy is a myth in the world, digital world. Okay. And they call it as a moh maya. Now, hoga, nahi hoga, kisi ko pata nahi. But at least on paper, terms and condition, it says, I will not use your data to train my system. Something they are doing. So we go by that. We go by that. Now, after you go by that, your reasoning goes up. For example, you got a notice. Now you can start interacting with that notice, whether it is on the PDF or on the Gemini, it could be anything. Ask, why did I get this notice? It will say, hey, look, this is not a notice, this is an ASMT 10. Okay, why did I get this? No, you filed your GSTR 1 as 1 crore, but your e-invoice was showing 1.1 crore. Oh, is it? Okay, what do I know to do? It will say you have to do a reply under ASMT 11. Now I'll ask, what should I reply? Go back and check your sales register. Is it really 1.1 crores or 1 crore? And appropriately reply. Then I'll go back and check my sales saying that I have cancelled 2 invoices in my sales register. I didn't cancel in the e-invoice portal because the 24-hour window got expired. I'll just say that. Okay, if that is so, no worries. I will give a draft reply. System is going to do it. Now please note, they are always called, these GPTs are called assistants. They are like an assistant. They are not going to be sitting on top of you. Why are they called assistant? Because the way you talk to your article saying ki ye check karke ek draft bana ke lekar aao, that is what that has done. Your job is to check the draft, and if it is fine, you are in order, you can just go ahead and submit that, right? So that is what these tools are going to do. Use it in summarizing the notice. Or you are in the profession where learning is necessary. Let's say armor security, Supreme Court judgment has come. Now I want to understand section 6B of the act. How do I read? SGST officer bhi aa raha hai, CGST officer bhi aa raha hai, 65 में audit चल रहा है, 67 में inspection चल रहा है. How do I counter it? Now should I proceed with the officer directly? Now you go and talk, interacting with the system. Look, this is the judgment. This is in 300 pages. Can you summarize it? Now it will summarize it. I want to go by para, go deepen your knowledge. how you get a case headings and synopsis when you subscribe to any of those tools, you now can get those similar learnings from these tools. And for sure, you need to have the tools like Dante or Notebook LM. These are the tools you should start using day in, day out. Especially Notebook LM, you should have, everyone has a Gmail and Google subscription. You should be definitely be using it. It has a podcast. If you are, it's like you're going for a walk, you have some 50 pages book, you can just put it, build a podcast, it will start talking to you, it will interact, you can ask question. The good part of this podcast is while it is playing, you talk to it, it will deepen and understand. Or you want to build a bot of your own, you can do is, BotPress is something which is a little, it is not a no code, but it is a low code, but you can use BotPress to build your own applications, right? Now, if you are doing all this, what is that you should be looking at? What is that you should watch for? Please note, you cannot rely on AI solely, for sure. You cannot rely on it completely. You cannot expect it to be perfect. It will never be perfect. It can never be perfect. And always ensure there are ethical considerations. DPD Act has come. So I don't know how many of you have studied. There is one clause, penalty up to 250 crores is also there in the data protection. So if you are violated in that, it is an error. Consider that human error. Morning, Mayurji was saying, 3 बजे तक वो whistles गिनते रहना, 3 तक whistles गिनते रहना. So what you ask the prompt, it will give you that kind of the wrong prompt or wrong answer. So there would always be error of the human. Yeah. Models are evolving and you got to be very watchful and careful to it. All right, so these are the things, DPDP Act I have mentioned. So just to summarize, AI will not replace neither CS or GST officers, okay? But it is going to aid them, augment them, better their work. That is what it is going to do. It is going to help in identifying risk and compliance. Make sure you start integrating, start asking for smart dashboards. Stay curious, have a happy learning. With this, I conclude my session. Any questions, I would be happy to share. And my knowledge, how we are doing the works in the office, I can always tell you. But we will automate. Yeah, one other thing which I wanted to actually show, forgot, let me. Yeah, so this is one, let's say every month, every month after you file, I get the report automatically generated saying that so many returns filed, this is the date on which it has been filed. It's all completely system driven and it goes like an MIS. So on a monthly basis, you are sending to, whether you are filing that client for 5,000 rupees or someone is paying 1 lakh rupees a month, still you will be able to generate a report, system driven and standardized, accurate. If there are any errors, it will say, okay, these are the errors that you need to correct. So you can automatically prepare reports like this. Whatever the report which I am showing you is not prepared by a human being. Basis the monthly data, this report comes and it will say if there are any errors, it will keep showing. So people will use it. So now client would also feel happy that, okay, after the return has been filed, I got a report. A report like this, you should start considering and using it. Yeah. With this, we have come to end of the session. Thank you so much.